Now ask for the highest guidance to flow through me now with whatever we need to experience or understand. Archangel Michael comes. I am here in order to transmit the wisdom that cuts through the veils of illusion. I am a force beyond time. And although perceived as angelic, I consider myself as simply part of a higher dimensional group who assist humans, particularly in times of transition. But you may visualize me, if you wish, as an angelic being of great love and compassion. I am radiating crystalline light. And I am here to tell you that you have reached a juncture in your evolution that is critical in terms of your ability to stay centered. You must and will stay centered, dear ones. Focus not on astrological cycles or planets in retrograde or cycles of the moon. Focus on the grander scheme of things in which your crystalline light bodies are in the process of formation. You are higher dimensional crystalline beings, just as am I. And I remind you of that now, and of your commitment to move beyond human sentiments, human up and downs. We know that the nature of earthly life is bipolar, and that your emotions are jerked around. You have been brainwashed into believing that the circumstances which present themselves are what cause these ups and downs. But you must and will move beyond this. I am part of a star angelic group that surround you now in this transmission with crystalline light. And as you move beyond your perception of yourselves as physical, into a perception of yourselves as crystalline angelic beings, just as are we. So it is easier for you to hold that higher heart vibration that is not only desirable but is essential. You must and will remember your crystalline angelic essence. There is no time left for drama, dear ones. You have been gifted with tools that bring you into an energetically coherent state. Use these gifts that you call pranayama and kriya, guided meditations. Use whatever is necessary for you to stay in an energetically coherent state. This channel has spoken previously of your ability to be frequency keepers. It is this skill to which we are referring when we ask you to make all efforts possible to keep your vibration high and clear and avoid energy drainage. From our perspective, this version of Nadi Shodhana and Prana Pranayam, techniques that we know by other names, nevertheless hold the essence that is needed right now, that allow you to stay clear, pure, and high as much of the time as possible. For this, you obviously need to do less in terms of work, and you most certainly need to do less in terms of worrying about earthly things that matter not at all. Nothing matters above and beyond your ability to hold your frequency high and to remember your ability to love all others unconditionally. I, Michael, am known for cutting through all deception and revealing the truth. And this I do, as always, from a place of great love and compassion for all humans and for your dear planet, in the throes of a revolution beyond all revolutions. You are warriors of the light, as are we.
You are transforming your planet, as are we. We are part of the greater councils of light, overlorded by Kutumi and the Galactic Federation of Light. And we are with you always. We stream our love out to you always. Namaste.
Love and thank you to Archangel Michael and to these wonderful beings within the greater councils of light. I feel like they were speaking directly to me, and we're going to close tonight just with some reflections from myself. We won't join in the bigger group on this occasion, as nobody was in a particularly sharing mood tonight. So I will just share that I have been particularly up and down recently. And when I'm down in particular, when my vibration and my mood is lower, I tend to feel like there's nothing that I can do about it. And of course, this is absolutely not correct. So I felt like it was a real reminder to me to, in those moments where my mood and my energy drops, to really use these wonderful techniques that I'm teaching you. And Archangel Michael is always very direct. It's like he cuts through the shit. He's like, no, this is the way it is. And he is extremely loving, but very direct. And that's what I got from this message tonight, was just that actually we've committed to do this, to being the awakeners, and there is no time for us to mess around with these ups and downs. And he was also saying very clearly, human beings have been socialized into needing the circumstances to be favorable in order for their mood to be favorable. In other words, good things happen, then I feel good. Bad things happen, and then I feel bad. I'm having setbacks, I'm having computer problems, I'm having workers not showing up that can't finish the things before I think they need to be finished before I have a retreat. But that's just life stuff. And what actually matters is keeping ourselves in a state of peace and balance in order to love each other unconditionally towards the birth of unity, the rebirth of unity consciousness on our planet. And so it was a really lovely message that I will have to listen to again. And I certainly will practice that new version of the sacred or higher heart meditation again, because I absolutely love that feeling when we have our left hand up and our right hand down. The left hand is up because it is receiving, and the right hand is down because it is giving, and it creates the circuit around the whole globe of human beings, really strong circuit of love, so that we help each other in that way to attain that unconditional love within our beings. So I will just point out, because many of you have been on retreats or workshops with me where the focus really was the one heart. Like for some years, the one heart seemed to be the biggest focus. And I'll explain the difference between the higher heart and the one heart. The one heart is your ascended heart, if you like. It is your crystalline heart aspect, and it comes at that part of the journey where you become one with all others. You not only are able to love each other unconditionally, but you literally melt into each other on this crystalline higher dimensional level. And so the one heart is almost like a reward. It's like the final result. But the higher heart, what my guides were explaining to me today before the session, is that the higher heart is the business that actually heals our civilization. So it's normally described as pink, but it can be perceived with these iridescent and particularly gold and silver colors within it. And it's very important for us to experience ourselves going into that frequency. So I was quite surprised that Archangel Michael referred to this teaching that has come through the Star Councils of Light of how to be a frequency keeper and what that means. What it means is that you raise your frequency to a certain level, and then you keep it that way in order to transmit that higher dimensional frequency or unity consciousness or unconditional love, whatever you want to call it, from our beings. Because as a personal practice, doing that through our meditation and our sacred practice is literally transforming the space around us, the people around us, and not just the people around us that we come into contact with, but all other beings. So on that note, I am going to love you and leave you, and I am streaming my love out to you. I'll ask you to namaste, even though we aren't all together on the screen, and just stream love out to this group, those that were present live in the session, and all those that are joining us in the future timeline through the replays. Love, 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 love out, and see you soon.